Hey there, it's the One Boom, and welcome to a more opinionated video about Battlefield 1. I'm a little salty, so please leave your salt out of my comment section. I already have enough salt. Too much salt makes the food taste bad, and I would appreciate it if you guys just kept your criticisms about my opinion to yourself. Unless you have a discussion to start, in which case I'll be happy to discuss with you. Alright, so Battlefield 1. What's the deal with Battlefield 1? If you're like me, you're probably wondering, what's there to be excited about? And why is everybody excited about this one? This really boggles my mind, seeing how during the time of Battlefield 4, all the YouTubers were talking about how much they wanted Battlefield 2143 or Battlefield Bad Company 3. That's all I heard about. I even heard mention of a Vietnam game. I never heard one Battlefield YouTuber or one gamer out there say Battlefield needs to go back to World War II. And I sure as hell didn't hear anyone say it needs to go back to World War I. So that in and of itself perplexes me. Everyone's asking like this is what we've been asking for years, but it's like it just kind of fell out of the sky. Like the only reason people are excited for it is because of the pattern exhaustion with sci-fi games. Ooh, but wait, Battlefield players shouldn't be pattern exhausted with that because they've been playing what, Rainbow Six Siege, Counter-Strike, Battlefield 4, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 3, and these are just games I'm listing off that Battlefield players have been playing recently, at least the YouTubers. I'm not speaking for the entire, portion of Battlefield players. You get it. And these games aren't sci-fi, these are modern combat. So are they burnt on modern combat? Oh, that's funny because I've never heard any of them say that. And I did actually start looking. If you guys can link me to a video where a noted Battlefield YouTuber said something about disliking modern and future combat and wants to go back to World War I or II, let me know. So either way, what I'm saying is it kind of feels like the game just fell out of nowhere. People were like, Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Destiny, Halo, all this future stuff's making me dizzy. And then Battlefield 1 just falls from the sky. It's kind of like if you just started eating ice cream and you liked ice cream. It was a new flavor of ice cream. You ate so much of it you got sick. During the moments, which maybe this could last for about an hour or so, while you're sick, somebody makes a joke about how gross that ice cream was. And you're like, yeah, that was really gross. See, that's kind of what it's like with the first-person shooter community right now, because it's like, oh, I'm so tired of this futuristic stuff I was asking for because I was bored of modern combat. I want something older now. And then Battlefield 1 comes around and goes, hey, that Infinite Warfare game's pretty stupid. Hey, come shoot some Nazis. I get it. Anyway, don't question me on that one. Anyway, and it's like, oh, good, I'm so full. I'd hate to have to eat any more ice cream. Of course, we like ice cream. We ask for ice cream, and we like ice cream. By the way, in this analogy, ice cream represents change. I hope that was clear. Anyway, we're just sick of the change that we asked for. During the moments of pattern exhaustion and when we're just exhausted on futuristic games and stuff like that, we were so exhausted, Battlefield 1 comes around just to play us off that impulse. When after Battlefield 1, I think people will demand more change. If anybody starts begging for a World War II game after they've experienced World War I am going to shoot myself. Because that is a novelty at this point. We, as gamers, regardless of whatever, demand change. We always want change. We always want new. We always want innovative. And this whole sci-fi shooters are dumb thing is just primarily against Call of Duty because Doom came out and did very well. No one bashed on Halo for still having Spartans. I mean, honestly, if the only reason you're upset with Call of Duty is because it used to be in the past, then you're probably still living in the past. Feel free to come back to the present day reality. Thank you. See, I can understand a dislike of, like, advanced movements, boost jumping and stuff, because that really changed the way the game is played. But disliking a game just because of the time period, or liking a game just because of the time period, that is so dumb. I'm sorry. Why would you only play a Battlefield? Battlefield's been awesome for so long. Battlefield has been innovative, exciting, broken at launch for so long. And why is everybody so excited about it now? We had too much ice cream. During the moments of being full, the last thing you want is ice cream. The first person to offer you a nice, lukewarm cup of water after you've had too much ice cream is your savior. Battlefield 1 is that lukewarm cup of water. Any other time someone gave you a lukewarm cup of water, you would be probably a little frustrated. You'd be like, where is the ice? Where's a glass of lemonade? Where's soda? You get what I'm trying to say. But because of the ice cream frenzy you just had, and now your tummy's all sore, the glass of water sounds just dandy, doesn't it? But let's look at what Battlefield 1 has to offer. Well, it has slow tanks, it has slow armored trucks, motorcycles, ooh, haven't seen those before, dual render scopes, about fucking time, high mantle, which is cool. You can actually finally get, like, mantle the things that are above your head. That's a cool feature. I can dig that. It's got innovative melee combat. I'm pretty sure that's actually a term that DICE themselves used. Innovative melee combat. Innovative melee combat. Innovative melee combat. Innovative melee. Knocked over my mic a little bit. Innovative melee combat? What the fuck? Who the fuck cares about innovative melee combat? You know what's the most frustrating part about any first-person shooter? The melee. The only game to ever get it right, and that was just due to the fact that it blended well with the meta, and it had a lot to do with the time to kill, and that was Halo. Even in Halo 5, the melee combat works towards the meta. It makes the game more satisfying. Seriously, the melee combat systems in games, especially Battlefield games, has been butt. You either have the Battlefield 3 wet, soggy banana knife where you just kind of swing it at somebody regardless of their distance. Like, it doesn't feel like you're actually hitting them. It just kind of feels like you're swinging in front of them and it hits them and they die, kind of, sometimes, sort of. Or in Battlefield 4, you get up behind them, or sorry, you don't get up behind them, but you just do the counter knife thing where somebody activates a knife, it gets in your face, and you hit a button at the right time, which it's always the same button, so you just instinctively smack the button when they start knifing you, and then you reverse knife them. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. Then you can assassinate people, but that isn't really melee combat. Assassinations wouldn't be considered melee combat in Halo, and I'm not going to consider them that in Battlefield. So talking about how innovative and interesting your melee combat is, who the fuck cares? The only cool thing in Battlefield 1 I think is actually interesting is the dynamic weather. The fact that every time you boot up a map, it could be a different weather cycle. Oh my god, the fact that it could be rainy, cloudy, sunny, shiny, that's a reason enough to get a game for me. Not really, I'm over-exaggerating, but I've always wanted that. Call of Duty would be so much more exciting, because Call of Duty is not a big, vast game like Battlefield where it's like a sandbox. You're in an arena. You're in a smaller map. It would make those smaller maps so much more interesting if you actually had dynamic weather and interesting dynamic things that happened. No, Call of Duty Ghost Stormfront, rain getting slightly harder does not count. Shut up. Either way, and regardless, Battlefield 1 has already admitted to having low amounts of weapon customization. You're going to have weapon variants. So, Springfield with scope, Springfield with bayonet, Springfield with iron sights, Springfield with iron sights and bayonet. I mean, please. That is so boring. I'm sorry, I don't care if it's authentic. I want to have suppressors, I want to have rapid fire, I want to have dual mags, I want to have extended clips, I want to have grenade launchers, I want to have underbarrel shotguns. Hell, I want night vision scopes, thermal sights, I want 18 different types of red dot. I want the stuff that I was accustomed to from playing Battlefield 3, 4, and Hardline. That was weapon customization, and this weapon variants, ugh, I don't care. And then vehicles, don't get me fucking started on vehicles. Who the fuck wants to drive slow armored truck or drive slow armored tank? Who wants to do that? Actually, the only thing I'm actually, in terms of like things you can use around the battlefield, I think it's cool that they have weapon placements. That is cool. I like turrets. I like that kind of gameplay. I love the ability to get into a big cannon and mow people down. That is fun. I like the fact that Battlefront has that. It's actually one of my favorite things about that game. Fixed turrets, by the way, in case you're wondering, fixed turrets imply that the game is centered around controlling the map and not just running around like an aimless chicken, so that is a good thing. So Battlefield 1, let's go back to the analogy of ice cream, because I cannot get enough of that, and I have ice cream in the freezer, and I really want to get into it. My tooth kind of hurts, so I'm going to just try to eat it the other side of my mouth. I should maybe not eat it. Anyway, so the thing is, Battlefield 1 is the lukewarm glass of water after you've had too much ice cream. Any other time, you would have said, ew, I don't care about this, it's just boring, I don't like it, it doesn't taste that good, it's not really that refreshing. But we've had a little too much ice cream. Even I've had a little too much ice cream. If Infinite Warfare released a tweet saying, by the way, our game now is boots on the ground, I would actually be happy. I would actually want a game that's boots on the ground again. I'm a little exhausted with advanced movements. It only took me 2 games to be tired of that. And then Halo 5 came around, added some sort of quote-unquote advanced movement, which it's really just a clunky version of Advanced Warfare's movement. It's kind of boring. I don't know. Anywho, what I'm saying is Battlefield 1 isn't a bad game. There's a good place in your life for a lukewarm glass of water, because it takes a lukewarm glass of water after a big thing of ice cream to make you realize that ice cream was pretty good. And then all of a sudden your mouth is kind of warm and you're just kind of like, you know, I kind of want more ice cream. We're going to want more ice cream. You're going to want sci-fi shooters again. You're going to want crazy fantasy shooters. And I mean, think about it. People are so happy with Doom and Overwatch, and people are even excited for Titanfall 2. But yet they're not even going to give Infinite Warfare a try. I mean, come on. I mean, you're obviously okay with fantasy and sci-fi shooters. You just want Call of Duty to return back to modern combat or World War II? Fuck you, I'm sorry. I've had enough of that. We've had too many modern combat Call of Duties. I am super, super done. 4 years of modern combat Call of Duties. And then we've had only 3 years of futuristic Call of Duties, and I'm not even going to, actually 2 years, because I'm not going to count Black Ops 2. That was boots on the ground. It had sci-fi equipment, but you guys all love that game. Everybody loves Black Ops 2. Don't pretend like that game slowly got you down the road of hating sci-fi shooters. The only thing sci-fi about that game was the fact that there was drones and a sight that could see through walls. Other than that, go to hell if you're going to tell me that game was too sci-fi. I've heard that before, and for some reason it's been on my mind recently. Small little pet peeve. If you think Black Ops 2 was too sci-fi, go play Titanfall and put a sock in your mouth. Alright? Thank you. So as always, I tell you guys not to do anything at the end of my videos. Actually, I have done that a little bit more recently. Just because I kind of started feeling a little not self-conscious, but more conscious of the fact that I'm not really growing as fast as I'd like to, and I was like, hey, share my video, but only share this video with somebody you know doesn't really care for Battlefield 1. So even if you do, share this video with someone that doesn't. Share this video with somebody that's kind of like, I'm on the fence about it. Share this video with them and let me know what they think. And or tell them to comment. I'm sure they can type unless they don't have hands. That's fine. Just hold the phone for them while you show them, because they can't hold it. They don't have hands. Anyway, guys, I will see you when I see you. I will be picking up Battlefield 1, and I'll try to put Battlefield 1 content on my channel. I just don't really feel excited for it. It kind of, I don't need a glass of water yet. I'm still open to more ice cream. So, yeah. I will see you when I see you. Goodbye. Alright, so you watched through the whole video. You stayed after my goodbye. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. As I was watching the Battlefield 1 live stream, I wasn't having any real problem with the game. I didn't really feel like the game was good or bad. I was just like, oh, it's a Battlefield game. But I didn't get excited. It didn't push Battlefield into being bigger and better. So from Battlefield Bad Company 2 to 3 to 4, Hardline went down. It was a little bit slow. And then 1 even seems lower than Battlefield Hardline in terms of content and variety. And that bums me out. And I hate to say it. It does look pretty. I'm excited about the dynamic weather. Other than that, it's just going to be another shooter in my collection. It's not going to stand out. Infinite Warfare still has the potential to kick a ton of ass and be one of the best arena shooters on the market. So let's cross our fingers and hope that Infinity Ward knows what they're doing, especially since they're going to reveal the multiplayer in September, I believe. So that must mean they're working on an awful lot of shit. Because to reveal your multiplayer 2 months before your game comes out, they must be hard at work, polishing, making sure it's one of the best Call of Duties we've ever played. So I hope that's what they're doing. Been rambling for a while. I'll see you when I see you, and yeah, goodbye. Oh no, there's a message after this goodbye. What will you do with it? How long will it go? It could go forever. It could stop right